Welcome parents, welcome students. This is the last page in our review for the test on Unit 7. Number 9, Jordan compares 1/2 to other fractions. So for 9A through 9D, select true or false for each statement. So we're comparing 1/2 to all these other fractions. All right, here's 1/2. And the first comparison is comparing 1/2 to 2/4. So here's a fourth, here's a fourth. And the reason they're this size is because you could see that another fourth would fit here, another fourth would fit here. So you could see that they're equal. That's true. How do we know they're equal? If we lay them on top of each other like this, we could see that they're exactly the same. So that's true. And then how about 1/2? How does 1/2 compare with 1/3? 1/2 is larger than 1/3. If we lay 1/3 on top of 1/2, we could see that 1/2 is greater than 1/3. That's also true. How about 1/2? Is 1/2, how does that compare with 2/2? Well, of course, you could see 2/2 is 1 whole. So 2/2 is 2 is always greater than 1. So 2 is greater than 2/2 is greater than 1/2. So that's true. How about 1/2? Is 1/2 equal to 1/4? No, they're two unit fractions. These are called unit fractions because they have 1 on top. Unit fractions never equal each other. So that's false. All right, draw a line from the fraction on the left to the equivalent fraction on the right. So 3 3s is like having 3 of these and it would make 1 whole. 3 3s, anytime there's the same numerator as denominator, that equals 1. All right, 1/2 is the same as 4/8. How do I know? Well, I can multiply 1/2. If I convert it or change it to an eighth, what did I do? I multiplied it by 4, so you have to do the same on top. 1 times 4 is 4. So 1/2 and 4/8 are the same. Remember, 1 is half of 2, 4 is half of 8. So it's 1/2 is 4/8. Again, then 6/8, how does that compare with 3/4? Because that's the answer. We multiply it by 2 over 2. 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 2 is 6. So these two are equivalents. 4/1 is always 4 whole. It's like having 4 holes, 4 whole pies. So it's always equals the whole number 4. 1/3 is the same as 3/9. We just divided by 3 over 3 instead of multiplying this by 3 over 3 either way. You divide 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So you could see that 3/9 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. Kaylee walks 7/6 miles on Monday and 5/6 miles on Tuesday. Write a comparison. Well, here's 7/6. Here is 5/6. That's a bad 5. And here's a 5/6. Which one's greater? Well, when they have like denominators, when the denominators are like, the bigger numerator always has a greater value. So 7/6 is greater than 5/6. Also, you need to know that 7/6 is greater than 1 because 6/6 equals 1. So 7/6 is like having 6/6 plus 1 more 6. It's 7 slices of a pie that's sliced into 6. So you can see it's one whole, this is one whole pi plus a little bit more. And this one, 5/6, it's missing 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's missing 1, so it's less than 6. If this is greater than 6, that's less than 6. This is less than 1 whole, that's greater than 1 whole. So 7/6 is greater than 5/6. Now, which day is greater? Because that's the question. On which day does Kaylee walk farther? It would be on Monday. All right, and then the last two questions. Use the fraction to label each point on the number line. Well, we could see that there's something missing here, so we put that there. And we could just divide everything into equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're in eighths. 1/2 is halfway between 0 and 1 is 1/2. So we're looking at these dots. What is this here? Well, it's the one that has a same numerator and denominator. That's 5/5, 5/5. And then if 5/5 is 1, then 10/5 is 2. And then if this is divided into eighths, and this is 8/8, because 8/8 is, I'm sorry. If this is divided into eighths, let's start over again. This would be 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. You know what? I messed up. I don't want to start over again, but I really made a big mistake. I divided this into fourths, because here's 1 and here's 2. So I divided this into fourths. This is 1/4. And this is 2/4, which is the same as 1/2. 3/4, and this is 4/4 or 5/5. 4/4, 5/4, 6/4. This is 7/4, and this is 8/4. All right, so we located this. We located this. Twice as much would be 2. And then this is the last dot, and that's 7/4. 7/4. All right, now which selection, select a fraction that would be included in an equivalency chain of 1/4. Mark all that applies. So we look at anything that equals 1/4. So we see that 1/4. So here's 1/4, nothing above 1/4 is same as 2/8. So 1/4 is the same as 2/8. So not this one, because this equals 1. 2/8, yes, 2/8 is the same as 1/4. How do you know? You can divide by 2 over 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 1/6, no. 2 unit fractions never equal each other, so no. 6 2s, that's the same as 3, so not that one. And then this one we divide by 3 over 3. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So this would be an equivalent. All right, now choose the symbol that completes the comparison. Which is bigger? Is 7/2 less than 7/3? Greater than 7/3, or are they equal? Well, when the numerator is the same, the small denominator is greater. So that would be the answer. You could also cross multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 2 is 14. So because 21 is greater than 14, 7/2 is greater than 7/3. How did you know which symbol to choose? You could say I cross multiplied and 21 is greater than 14. So 7/2 is greater than 7/3. Or you could say, if the numerator is the same, then the smaller denominator has greater value. All right, good luck. Thanks for joining me.